Short video today. This is actually the second time I've had to disassemble this Sol E95 elliptical for the same issue, so I would imagine it is semi-common, and I figured I would document how to do it just in case other people ran into the same problem. So the problem that occurs, or the symptoms that occur when you have this issue, is that the elliptical gets really hard to pedal or run on. And it essentially is just stuck in the highest resistance setting. And you can adjust the resistance setting on the little handles, and you can hear the little motor inside of it turning, but it doesn't change the resistance. However, if you turn the resistance setting up to the highest setting, it does get easier to turn. So it's like kind of inverted, but it has a tendency just to be on the hardest setting regardless. So what happens here is actually the little cable on the servo jumps off and it gets facing the wrong way. To access it, you just need to remove these side panels. So you start on the right side of the machine and remove the Phillips head screws all the way around it. So there's a total of 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 on this side. And then once those are out, you can lift the centerpiece off and pull it away. And to remove the one on the left side, which is what you need to do, there's another screw right here that needs to be removed. And then 3 more on the bottom of the left side as well. And then the left side should pull away. Now you can actually, and you're going to want to work from the left side. So one other thing you have to remove in order to get this side panel pulled away completely, you have to remove this little cap on the foot here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that as well. You may have to rotate your pedals or your arms a little bit to get enough room to work. But in general, this is what you need to get to. So this little servo motor or stepper motor is hooked to a cable, and it pulls that cable, and as it pulls that cable, it actually pulls the brake away from the flywheel. So in order to fix this, the next thing that you're going to need to do is actually remove the cable from this little wheel or this pulley. And to do that, set the resistance to the lowest setting. So 1, is that gives you the least amount of tension on it. And then you need to turn it, and I'm not going to be able to do this one-handed, but essentially there's a slot here. And you want to pull the cable up so it can go out the slot and pull away. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. It probably would help to use some needle nose pliers or a small screwdriver. Okay, so needle nose pliers did the trick. The cable is now loose, and what we want the cable to do is run underneath, around, and hook into this spot. So in order to do that, we're going to go ahead and now turn the resistance up to the highest setting so it rotates this wheel around and lets us do it with minimal effort. Now while that's turning, I should mention there is an adjustment on the brake end of the cable that lets you add tension to it and adjust it. I did that last time thinking it would fix the issue with this cable jumping off the pulley. Obviously it didn't work. I think this is just a poor design on Sol's part. I did contact them about this, but they seem more interested in finding out where I purchased the unit and asking for a receipt than actually providing support or admitting that there's an issue with this design, which I believe that there is because this is the second time this has happened. And after searching online, it's certainly not I'm certainly not the first person this has happened to. So now the resistance is at the highest setting, which is 20 on this particular machine, and I need to get this cable going at the bottom of the pulley, around, and then hooked in to the slot that it was in before, but rotating it around it from the bottom up. So I'm going to go ahead and work on that. So a quick tip, it's actually easier to remove the cable from this little retainer here. Just pop it out sideways, get the cable clipped into its little slot, and then actually use a pair of pliers to pull this entire assembly back and get it back into that slot. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. I apologize for the low light, but I'm just trying to make this video quickly as I fix it. You can see down here, this is the adjustment nut for the tension of the cable. So I went ahead and tightened it up. Again, I've got the machine set at its highest resistance setting. So at this point, the cable should be basically fully released. So if you turn this top, it's a really long nut. Counterclockwise, it will tighten things up and take the slack out of the cable. And then there's a little nut below it that you just turn counterclockwise as well to snug it up and keep it from loosening over time. And I just did it by hand. If you look down in there, you can see a little white piece of plastic that is hooked to that moves in and out. That's actually actuates the brake. So you want to tighten it to the point where that doesn't necessarily pull away from the flywheel, because then you'll never have full resistance. But you don't want the cable to have a whole bunch of slack in it. I'm assuming that's part of the reason why this keeps jumping off of this pulley up here, but I could be wrong. So anyway, it's pretty tight. I can pull it away from here just a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and run it through a couple of cycles to make sure that it works properly. But that's pretty much it. It is fixed and ready to go, at least until the next time that it breaks. This is how it should be configured. So it's currently increasing the resistance. The pulley's turning counterclockwise, and you can see the cable is being let out, which is releasing the brake and moving it closer to the flywheel, because it's in its natural state, it's close to the flywheel. And then when you drop the resistance to 1, this pulley is actually going to rotate clockwise now and is reeling the cable in, pulling the brake away from the flywheel, making it easier to turn. So if you have this issue where it seems reversed or it's just always on the maximum resistance, this could possibly be what's going on. You want to check and make sure that your cable is running underneath and around rather than up and over. Hope this helps. Please like, comment, and subscribe.